Hey everyone, Patrick Batty and my buddy Johan Friesen here with Pickleball Today, back for another episode. How you doing, Johan?
I'm doing great, Patrick. How are you doing?
I am well. We actually played today. We had a great time, didn't we?
You sure did.
Um,
Didn't play great,
well, no, we
but
didn't.
had a great
We'll
time.
talk about that. Hey, well, welcome everyone. This is Pickleball Today. We're Canada's national pickleball podcast, but we also, because we now have 2/3 of our viewers and listeners in the U.S., we cover a lot of U.S. stuff today as well. The industry is focused in the U.S. The equipment kind of, in most cases, comes from the U.S., but we're based in Canada. Today we have a very icy, kind of crappy day outside, but thankfully we played inside. Anyway, Johan, we have a few topics we're going to go over quickly today. You want to give us a rundown?
You bet we do. We've got the follow-up to the pickleball wedding that I attended last weekend. I think we mentioned it on our last podcast.
Yep.
So I'll be looking forward to telling everybody all about that and the experience and wishing that everybody has an opportunity to attend one of those in their lifetime.
It looked like fun.
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing time. And then we're also going to have you talk about the new Selkirk Labs 008 paddle, Patrick.
Yeah, we talked about it a bit before, but now that I've played it a bit more, I have a few more comments. You've got a new microphone, I see.
I do, and that's a perfect way to start this podcast, I think. We've noticed some mic issues in the past. So the microphone that I was using previously, my sound came across a lot louder compared to Patrick's. And so despite doing the level tests and, before we started recording, everything sounded fine on our end and then published in certain platforms, it didn't necessarily translate that well. So
yeah, let's call a spade a spade. It was a shit microphone.
It was absolute garbage. Yeah, I regret buying that. So, sincerely to all the listeners, I apologize for that terrible mic quality.
But you've got a Blue Yeti. Actually, that's what I've been using. I've used this one forever. These things are bulletproof, and sound is usually not the issue with these. They're good. Those that's the new mic. You put yours on camera. Mine is over here, but it's I don't have enough space to have it in front of me, and I don't need it anyway. I'm looking Hollywood today. I should mention this.
You are looking really sharp.
Yeah. Well, I had eye surgery this week, and now what day is today? We're recording on Saturday. That surgery was Monday, so it was beginning of the week on one eye. And I'll have it in about 3 other weeks on the next eye. This was cataract surgery. The good news is I will not need distance glasses. I used to wear distance glasses for playing pickleball, but I stopped. I just switched over to my protective eyewear. But I won't need them, and I will be able to see better playing pickleball then, because seeing the other end of the court and things like that. Now, when we're up close and whacking each other like we did today, maybe not so much, but I'm anticipating a few less whiffs, because once in a while I get a whiff that is like totally missed the ball, and I wonder if it's my eyes or it just maybe I'm too slow. I don't know.
I had a few of them too, and my eyes are seemingly okay. So I don't know that we can necessarily blame it on our eyesight at this point. But
yeah. So just a little bit about cataract surgery. Again, the end result is, for me at least, I won't need distance glasses, but I may need reading glasses. Although I don't have a very strong prescription for reading glasses anyway. But you got to protect your eyes against real bright light. And today with the recording, we got a lot of light around, so that's why I have them. I'm sorry about you're getting a reflection of the, what do you call those lights, the circle ones,
the ring lights.
Ring light, yeah. So
so for those of you watching on YouTube, you get to see Patrick with
those aren't my eyeballs inside there.
Those are not his eyeballs. Yeah,
but
we'll put that in the show notes too.
I'm going to look a little bit this way over towards you, so that I am not showing that glare as much as possible. So, okay.
I kind of like it. I pretend it's your eyeballs peeking through the sunglasses, but
it looks like a video game.
It does, like Terminator style. It's pretty cool.
I wish it would do me some good in the pickleball. Well, why don't we talk about the wedding?
Yeah, it's the wedding was for our friend Sam, who married his lovely bride Riza on the weekend, and it was something to see. Now I knew that I would have to end up playing pickleball in a suit. I didn't know really what to anticipate, but when we got there, my goodness, he had this thing sponsored, and hats off to Diadem for really coming through for Sam and the team there. It was a pickleball matchup that everybody got to participate in, whether you played or not. The first game was Sam and Riza, and they were playing against the groomsmen and the maid of honor. And then it was Sam's parents that came in, and then other guests started playing.
So they kind of did it like the opening dance, the opening dance at a wedding.
Essentially, yeah. Like they did have a first dance.
Did they?
It's a cultural thing where you pin money to both the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, they had some kind of build up to it, and then the pickleball games that went on for quite some time, and it was really neat to see that everyone's all dressed up and having a great time playing pickleball. And when Sam and I got to play together,
all right,
I was expecting just to play a bit of pickleball. This would be great fun. But there was a twist because the bride is a badminton player. And so they decided to play Pickleton. And unbeknownst to me, as I get on the court, half expecting a pickleball to come at me, a birdie came out of nowhere. And now suddenly we were playing pickleball with a birdie. And, if you've ever tried that, Patrick, like when you're when you're at the kitchen line and you don't want to step in, but you need to stretch to reach the birdie, as you know, the birdie comes straight down.
Yeah.
It's not going to bounce for you, so you have to get it on the descent.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey,
exactly.
I just want to congratulate them. First of all, we should mention Sam is a member at our club. Is Riza a member there as well?
She is, yeah. They're both members.
There, but I haven't seen her that often, so I wasn't sure if she came in as guest. So, congratulations to both of them. They had this sponsored by Diadem. Sam got all kinds of Diadem paddles. I don't know if they gave any away at the wedding or not.
They did. That was part of it. There were games and raffles and a bingo card. My goodness, it was a little bit of everything. So if you were going to this wedding, it was cool.
I'd been hearing about it. I'd been hearing they had the wedding. The wedding was in Ottawa, and it sounds like you had a good few days in Ottawa. You stayed for an extra few days.
Yeah, we stayed for a couple nights just to get there in time, and then recover the next day as well, and just really kind of enjoy it there. And we know people in Ottawa as well, so it was a nice time.
Again, we should mention. I mean, first of all, Sam is a really nice guy, one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet. Right out of the blue, he's just a prince, and he's great at video. So he's taken some photos of John and I, and I'm not sure they might be on the website at this point, but he'll do a video for us when he's there with us, things like that. But also he knows his way around these organizations. So he met or talked to Diadem a while ago. They offered to sponsor it. Since then, though, since the wedding, the wedding was covered on local TV in Ottawa, and then picked up by the national CTV News or CTV National News.
That's right. It was on CTV Ottawa initially. They had actually covered his proposal. So Sam, as a videographer, had recorded his proposal to Riza at the top of Mont Tremblant in Quebec, and they featured him on the morning show. And so I think they were kind of waiting for the culmination of the wedding itself. And so after the wedding videos came out, they featured it on CTV Ottawa. I guess the producer is a big pickleball enthusiast as well. So she ensured that it was part of that broadcast. Yeah. So that was really funny. So then it got picked up by all the CTV syndicates across the country, as well as CP24 here in Toronto, and a number of other locations. I think the Dink covered it as well. Yeah. So it's making its way through the pickleball world for sure.
If we can get the video, we'll embed it on our website too.
We can add a link to it. Yeah. I know Sam has it on his YouTube channel as well.
Or we may be able to embed the CTV video. There might be a way. We'll see. But congratulations, guys. Sounds like it was a great time, and certainly you've had a lot of coverage. I hope you wanted it because you got it.
No, we were thrilled to be a part of it, and wish Sam and Reza all the very, very best. It was absolutely glorious, special day.
Hey,
well done.
Before we go any farther, we should mention please give us a like, a subscribe if possible, leave a comment. All of those can come back in spades to you because we give away gear. And today we're going to give away a paddle based on somebody viewing and commenting on our last video. We will do that in a little bit, but all you have to do is if you see it on YouTube, leave especially mainly our videos. Go to YouTube, Pickleball Today, the pod on YouTube, or the Pickleball Today channel, and leave a comment there. Leave a like. We're gonna probably have a little secret code that we put out near the end of this thing as well, but we'll see. Like we leave an Easter egg here and there, and do that. The other thing is to have more opportunities to win. Go to pickleballtoday.co/win. Pickleballtoday.co/win. Fill in the form there, and then that'll give you a list of all the things you can do to get more entries. And everything but in that is sharing for us to get more visibility out as well. So we thank you for those of you that do that. It really means a lot. It helps the channel a lot. And any income we make from the channel goes to support my wife's long-term care. She has Alzheimer's, so we appreciate it. Next topic, John.
Next topic, Patrick. I think we're going to talk about some paddles. Now, I know that you've been kind of exploring a number of different paddles, including the Black Knight ones, which you did a separate feater on, which was really neat. They were kind of fun to handle. I enjoyed those. But more recently, the Selkirk Labs foam, I think it's a 008.
Yeah,
correct?
I've got one here. I actually have 4 of them now. Excuse me. The one I have, I just got to see this. Yeah, this is this is the Tour Shape. The Tour Shape has the curve head. The Tour Shape has a longer handle, so I can do a full 2-handed backhand with it. I particularly like that. Although sometimes I switch to my right hand, but I really would be better off if I didn't.
But that's where that long handle comes in handy if you're not playing your dominant hand.
No,
for sure.
If for a backhand, boy, you can really control it if you use 2 hands on your backhand, especially around the net, I find. But also you can put some topspin on a backhand. I find a little easier than I'm a little loose if I'm just using one hand there. But if I put topspin, I can use my right hand to kind of lift the paddle and get more spin on it. So I like that.
And for anybody playing against Patrick recently, you'll notice it's just ATP after ATP. He's using that long handle to his advantage.
ATP. I have not been in the same area code as an ATP that I recall. But anyway, I've been close, but close doesn't seem to cut it in any way. Anyway, these paddles come in 3 different shapes. The Tour Shape, I think the one's called Epic, if I'm not mistaken, and the Invictus Shape. The Tour Shape is the rounded head. The Invictus Shape is more of a square head, same length or a little bit longer. And the Epic is a little bit wider, shorter pedal, but again, and a shorter handle. So that's more of a real control paddle. I'm also a shorter guy, though, so I like to have the little bit of length that helps me once in a while. Not often, but once in a while. So
it gives you some reach for your overhead too. If there's a ball that's kind of flying a bit high.
Yeah. Being I'm 5'9", and I'm an older guy. It's not like I'm the speediest. I'm not bad for my age, but not the speediest guy to get back, right? So you're trying to reach some over your head, but sometimes I don't get back to get lobs at me. So I feel it helps a little bit. Now I'm really loose on my overhead shots, though, and I'm going to be actually taking lessons next week, John. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, I am enjoying these paddles. I've got 2 of the shapes, and I've got 2 of the thicknesses. And then I've got one of the paddles came with a massively thick handle. And Selkirk Labs, some Selkirk paddles, the higher end ones, if you order them from Selkirk, you can get them with different thickness grips. And it's not talking just about overgrip. It's the material inside the wood or whatever it is that they beef up the handle in. I'm not 100%.
And that really surprised me, actually. So at the club this morning, Patrick let me handle this one. Is that the one you're holding, the one with the thicker handle there?
Yeah.
So that one really surprised me. Just the girthiness of that handle.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it's soft. And that's exactly how I like my handles. Just I like them a bit thicker. I find I don't get that tennis elbow followed from that.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't realize that it came that way. Yeah. I've never actually seen a paddle come that way. I overwrap mine to get that.
Yeah, you can order them from them this way. With me, because these are demo paddles, I didn't get a choice. So this is thicker than I normally would have played, but I've been playing it. And you know what? I'm starting to like it. And today I didn't wear an elbow sleeve like I have been, and I had no pain whatsoever. So maybe.
Were you playing with that one the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I was so awesome.
Patrick was playing pretty well.
No,
I, however, was not.
No,
but Patrick was spot on. And when he says,
I was spot on about 1/3 of my shots. How's that?
You were doing great, and you were surprisingly agile and spry this morning. So I don't know what you had for breakfast, but I might have to try some tomorrow.
I think it was the rum from last night.
Could be.
I might have, but yeah. But anyway, I'm enjoying the paddles. With the labs, you don't buy them in stores. You order them from the States because of that. There's duty and things like that. If you're in Canada, but so I don't know how many they sell in Canada, but they're nice paddles. And I honestly do believe their Selkirk's higher end paddles have the nicest, a really lovely stock grip on it. It's a very cushy feeling grip. Now, a lot of people will just put an overgrip over it anyway. With this one, I won't add an overgrip to it because it's already pretty beefy. But
and it's soft. It's got like a softer texture. It's not soft as in spongy, but softer texture.
It's comfortable. Yeah, it's really comfortable. Yeah, it feels like a seat on a luxury car. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you notice the difference between a Kia and a Cadillac kind of thing, right?
Yeah, there's. But especially the like Maseratis, with the real soft leather. That's what this feels like. Anyway, being I've never driven one, I assume that's what they are like. Anyway,
now you can never drive one. Just to not disprove that theory inside your head.
It doesn't feel like my Ford Focus hatchback at all.
But it feels nice. So if you're looking to drive that Maserati that Patrick is comparing that Selkirk to, try the thicker handle. I liked how it felt. I like that it came stock, overwrapped like that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to buy the overwrap, and then overwrap sometimes if it's not done correctly never feels exactly as it should.
Yeah.
And so, it's nice to know that it comes that way. So
yeah.
That was
well, again, with these, if you order these online through Selkirk, you can decide what thickness of handle you want, right? And it's like small, medium, large. You just decide what you want. So, and I've always played a smaller one. The medium, I would say medium size. This would be a large. But you know what? I'm getting used to it. I don't have big, large hands, but it felt pretty good. I mean, that fit right in your hand right away. Right.
It did, and it was very comfortable. I quite enjoyed it.
That's
the 16 mil, which
size was the one I'm playing is a 16 mil. They also come in 13, and starting next week they come in 10. So that will be a heavy duty hitter.
My God,
there'll be real pop on it, I expect, and then if you add some weight to it, a lot of power, right? But it might be the other way around. But that'll hit like a little bit like a board. But I think we'll see a lot of the pros with them, right? The Selkirk pros. So now, paddles, by the way, I should say Labs paddles, generally, they use that as an experimental type of thing. And people pay for the privilege to have them early. I mean, it sounds a little weird here. But then some of them, they take the features and make a production version. Like if they think this is perfect the way it is, they'll make a production regular one that isn't the Labs version, which will be less expensive and will be in in high-end pickleball stores, not your Canadian Tires, but in Costco's. But the higher, it'll be one of the better paddles that you'd find at your local pickleball store or whatever. So there's usually about a 4 or 5 month, 6 month lag to them though, until it comes out that way. Anyway, so that's what a Labs is. I can't sell Labs paddles. In the States, if I was in the States, I could, but I can't. So, but they just don't allow advocates to sell in Canada. So,
which is too bad. But you tried the paddles, so you had a couple different thicknesses.
Yeah.
You had the 14 mil, the 13, and the 16. Right?
I played the 13 and the 16, and frankly, I like both. I can play the 13 just fine. I think I'd have a hard time with the 10. I don't think I'd be able to control it. I probably won't get a demo 10 myself. I don't think I'll get one. But I mean, I've got 4 of these. What do I want? 5, 4. But highly recommend them. And as an advocate, I'm sharing it with the world, fulfilling my advocacy. How's that? And in that, but. Nice paddle, and we'll see. I mean, Selkirk, I think, fell behind a little bit competitively to the various in the paddle wars, and we've seen that on the pros, and we've seen that a little bit not in the foam, because they came out with the foam core the day before or the day after carbon, so they're right up there with that. There's other companies that are just coming out with foam, so they're right up there with that. But their foam is not a production paddle like in stores. It's only via the Selkirk Labs website. So anyway, that would do that.
It was fun. We played a little bit. I quite enjoyed it. So for the couple games that I did get to use one of them, the shape took a little getting used to if you're not used to it. It's a little unconventional, I guess, for me anyway. It's not something I'm used to. I think a lot of people would play with it, but I found the 16 mil to be a really powerful and control paddle at the same time. Yeah. And I think that one was sort of the nice one. And we were playing the one game, and Patrick had lent it to another person we were playing with, and she started playing really well. And he says, oh, "Okay, now I want my paddle back," because I think we were starting to lose. But
beating the heck out of me.
yeah. So I mean, I think for anybody that tries it out and you kind of have that success, this might be the one for you. But absolutely, it was a nice paddle to play with.
Yeah. I mean, paddles aren't the be all and end all, but they are a factor in how we play, right? So, speaking of how we play, I will mention, I said before, I will be taking a lesson. I've fallen behind on trying to upgrade skills. I used to do a lot of lessons with my friend Mark, who was also co-host on our show. Mark is now living in Florida, so I don't take lessons with Mark, and I haven't really done any because of, I had some injuries and I had traveled and, on different things and sicknesses and now eye surgery. Anyway, I'm feeling better. The eye thing is not preventing me from playing. So I'm going to get back to taking a few lessons with the pro at our club. Is called Corte or Court, Corte, Kitchener, Ontario. And Jay Francis is the pro there. Jay is an unbelievable athlete, period, and pickleball player as well, and coach as well. So I've fallen behind a little bit, whereas John and a lot of other players at our club are getting better and better and better, and our club has really grown with a lot of new members too. But the people that I was about the same as a while ago, I am not about the same as anymore, because they've gotten better and I've kind of stagnated. Now I'm an older guy, but I can improve, I believe, with some lessons anyway. And so
it's never too late to learn.
No.
Yeah, and I think we naturally fall back into bad habits. I do it all the time, every single game. And then I kick myself after. Like, why did I do that? I need to kind of slow it down or be a little more controlled or a little more strategic in my return shots. And so that's something that I did try to work on. So I have taken a few lessons in between, and I find it works out really, really well. Yeah. As long as you can retain it and practice it.
We talked about playing today. Do you want to take a minute? We'll talk about how our playing went today.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Happy to. I don't want to go too much on my game because it wasn't my best.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about that. I'll talk about my great shots and my bad shots. Today, my net play was not bad.
Your net play was excellent.
Yeah, and I was pleased. I mean, again, getting up to the net one was something I was focusing on a lot after return to serve. And getting up there immediately, and where sometimes I'm a little slack on that. So I was getting up to the net early, and I've got we had a lot of dinking battles. I mean, dinking battles aren't too common, but with the foursome we had today, it was pretty common, wasn't it? And
yeah, it was.
And
had to be on.
And the key with the dinking battle is, in what I'm finding, is go diagonally on your shots if you can, unless the ball's just up too high. The other guy is hitting it way too high, and then you can go at directly to the player. Now, whether that's good strategy or not, it seems to work to me. In other words, if they hit one up a little too high, then you don't have to worry about dinking. Then you can go directly at the guy opposite you because he has less time to react than going diagonally. But generally with dinking, it's about being patient, not trying to go hard too soon. And usually diagonally is easier to do, right, across the court.
And it's a good strategy too, to kind of just keep that flow going and respecting the X, I think it's called, where you kind of keep going in the same X direction.
First of all, you have more space to hit the ball over. You have a longer distance before it will be out. If you're trying to go straight ahead, you've got, a foot or two to hit it up above, and then not hopefully have it too high that it's going to get smashed down on you, right? So you got to be pretty accurate at that. But diagonally gives you a little bit of room for error. But anyway, today I felt like I played that well. I never had a great serve going today. And I can't say, I just didn't play very consistent all day. Some days you're feeling great, some days you aren't. Today I never got into a groove other than maybe 3 or 4 serves in a row once in a while, but not very often. I was clearly, I'll admit, I was the weak link in our foursome today. And
I wouldn't go that far, Patrick. I think you're playing okay. It was just one of those days where you're hitting about 50% perfect shots. And the rest are all over.
There were there were a few incredible shots, and then there's these ones that are, it's incredible, but it's out by that much, right? Best shot of my life. Oh shoot, never mind. But anyway,
there's a couple. It was the best shot of your life.
What do you think about your game today? Like, honest assessment.
My game was. It took a while to get warmed up, I found. And we typically play for about an hour and a half is what the booking is for. And so you kind of, by the time you get to the last half hour, you're feeling a bit more familiar and comfortable. My game, it was not my best work. I kept hitting a lot of balls out. The one thing that was really working for me well today was hitting that deep return, keeping my opponents on the baseline and not giving them an opportunity to come forward following the serve return. And so that I felt I was doing really well.
Yeah, you nailed me on some of those. Yep.
Yeah, and so I think it just you catch your opponent running in too soon, and understanding that their strategy is to get to the net sooner. But as long as you can keep them to the back, and ideally catch them, it was working well for me today. My short game was not anything to write home about, and I think part of it was I was playing between 2 paddles today, so I was using the Carbon, the True Foam today. And then as well the EULA, and maybe that was my problem. I think I just wanted to kind of hit a few hard balls, but it was just more for fun. But I think just not consistently playing with one paddle for the entire match maybe had an impact. But
I want to again start doing that for multiple matches. I got very consistent when I was playing that SLK Halo that I played with for about 3 months, and rather than I was all over the map with paddles for a year, right? Because of all the different ones we had. But you got to get used to something and play it regularly. So I'll keep on with this 008 for a while anyway, and not bounce around.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to see Patrick playing with a couple different paddles either. He's generally testing one out or just kind of going back and forth.
But if I want to play better, sticking with one, I think, will be the best. I want to enjoy the game and not be the goofball that doesn't control it very well. I think your game. One of the things. Can I give you a critique on your game? Sometimes you hit it so bloody hard that you don't need to. You're such a powerful guy anyway, and you swing sometimes so hard that ball is going to go no matter what. You don't have to do that. And then when you do it, you'll plow it into the net quite a bit, right? So I hope that didn't sound too harsh. I could see you being a little bit better player with by using a little less power.
And
by the way, and also when you hit me, it really hurts, man.
I didn't hit you today, did I? I don't think I did.
Once. Oh no, maybe I got one right in the stomach.
That was your partner.
That was from Steve.
Yeah.
That was from Steve.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got hit by my partner. That's right.
Yeah, it was Paul, I think.
Was it Paul? He literally hit me and it trapped the side of my head. Knocked the hat flying and no worse.
Yeah, it was really dramatic and looked a lot more violent than it was. But
I was going,
that's the reason Patrick's wearing glasses today, to cover the black eye. I think.
Yeah. I got little pickleball circles.
Yeah, it was okay. You're right, and that's something that I do try to focus on too, and that's an old tennis habit coming through. So whenever you're talking to a former tennis player, that you're going to get that style of play where you're just instinctively have to hit a lot harder,
whack it hard with topspin.
And I find oftentimes that works well for me. And, people that play with me often, they kind of learn to expect it and anticipate it and counteract it.
Oh, I expect it and counteract it, but I think a little less power wouldn't hurt much, and it would help as far as more consistency. Just my casual observation. And nobody's paying me to say this or do this, so take it for what it's worth, which is not much. But that would be... You're such a powerful guy anyway. Even that, you really don't need a powerful paddle. You do not. But it's, the guy is a bull, folks. Let me tell you, this guy is a bull. So...
It's it's a hard habit to break, unfortunately. And it's especially if I'm using that Eula paddle too. I mean, that thing is out of control.
Because then you really want to refit.
Absolutely. But what I would find with the carbon, I have a lot more control, but I can still hit equally hard. But I'm trying not to. So when I'm trying to play a softer game at the net and just dink a little bit, you want to just kind of let the ball just sort of pop off the paddle. But what I find is I get really kind of anxious hitting those little soft shots and my dinking game that I end up hitting the net because I don't put just enough of a kind of just push behind the paddle. Yeah. And so I think then I get down on myself and I think, all right, well, I got to go back to playing hard again. And that's sort of how I get back into that vicious cycle there. Yeah. So, and I think this is maybe a good sort of discussion as to why we should all continue to take these lessons when they're offered. Yeah. And like you said, with Jay Francis, our local pro, but whomever you're taking lessons from, those do come in handy, and you do kind of learn those techniques and how to retrain yourself. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was playing with this couple, and she was helping me, and she's a really talented player, but she was helping me basically kind of calm down and not hit as hard as I generally do. Right. And so before the game started, she said, okay, for this game, we're not going to smash at anything. We're not going to hit anything hard. It's only soft shots. And it's almost retraining yourself to kind of get that muscle memory to hit a softer shot, play a softer game. And you end up being a little more strategic in where you're placing the ball as well, because like you're restricting yourself from hitting hard.
Yeah.
And so I found that to be a very, very, very good exercise for sure.
Well, that makes me feel better too, because at least somebody else thought that maybe that would be a good thing to do. I was hesitant to even mention it, right? Because it's not my business, and I'm not an expert. I'm a level 1 trainer, which basically teaches beginners how to hit, and that's it. I don't go beyond that. But I always thought you when you struggle, it's usually that real rip, and then it's into the net with the topspin, right? So anyway, another part of my struggle, and I don't want to beat this because nobody wants to hear. I just get a little still down on myself. It's a psychological thing. You lose 3 points in a row, and then the fourth point, I don't even care, or I care too much, one or the other. I'm not sure which. And then the other team goes into runs. So just got to still work on that a little bit more. But we did have a nice foursome today, and I was the weaker link. You guys are all doing really well, and but I'm not going to be the weaker link for long. I'm taking some lessons and doing some drills and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be back with you.
You were never the weaker link. I think you were on a couple, 4 and 5 point runs there a few times, and so I think it's just a matter of which side of the court you were playing. The funny thing is that our club, we joke that there's a winning side and a non-winning side.
Yeah.
And so depending on what side of the net you're on, but the net was exceptionally brutal for most of us, except for the one fellow.
Paul.
My God. That net just kept, it would ride the length of the net, then tip over onto our side.
Along the top and fall on the right side for him. It was like crazy. So we asked him if he paid off the net at the beginning of the game.
It felt like it the way it was going.
Yeah,
but, I know he was playing a great game today. So.
Do we have what's next, John? How about we give out our prize?
Yeah. I think we had a paddle to give away from last week.
So last week, winner. First of all, there is a contest. Go to pickleballtoday.co/win. Enter the contest. Comment on the video here. Like the video. Subscribe to the podcast or the YouTube channel, and you get chances to win. Last week's winner is Vanna Pham. Now I'm going to reach out to Vanna. Now that's her YouTube name, but we'll reach out to her via that, and we'll also double check that she's on our email list as well. And reach out.
Congratulations, Vanna.
Yeah, congratulations, Vanna. We're going to send you a nice paddle. I don't know which one it will be, but it will be a nice one. I hope you enjoy it. And our current contest goes till mid-April, but we may still do another. That contest will end at mid-April, so we'll award that. We have Steve. I reached out to, but haven't heard from, that won last week. So we got his paddle to send out still. Vanna's now, probably another one next episode, and then one on April 15th. So we got a bunch of paddles to go and give out, and it makes us happy to do it. So we
love when everyone engages.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who engaged with our last episode.
Yeah, I mean it's nice. Well, first of all, it makes us feel nice, like somebody's watching this stuff, and leaving some nice comments. And if you want to leave a nasty comment, you'll still get entered to win, but you probably won't win. But anyway, but you'll be entered.
Patrick doesn't usually rig these things, but if you're going to be mean spirited, then he might consider
the actual software we use with the when you go to the page and it picks the winner. So I don't. But the one where the Easter egg, and that means that you've seen something in our show. What we should name an Easter egg today. What are we? Where are we at? Mid-March? No, what's the? Oh, it's almost April Fool's. So let's say April Fool's will be. Oh, that's kind of a weird.
Yeah, let's carry on and go with the theme. If you say congratulations, Sam and Riza.
Oh,
let's give a hat tip to those two. I think celebrate their recent nuptials.
Yep, that's a good one. Okay, so we're going to be looking for that on the next one, and somebody's going to get an award for that. That means you've been around here long enough to see this. And we'll take it from there.
And for anybody that's considering doing a pickleball wedding to kind of mimic what Sam and Riza did, feel free to invite Patrick and I. I mean, we're a lot of fun to be around. I'm not the best dancer, but I'll happily play pickleball at your wedding.
The wedding crashers.
That's right. They'll come armed with paddles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll.
Yeah. Do we have any topics left, or no? Is that it for today?
I think that's it. I think we wanted to kind of keep this one short, but also keep it in the interim. So, I'd also love your feedback on sort of the mic quality here. It's hard for us to tell while we're recording it. Everything sounds fine when we're in the testing, but if it sounds okay, give me a thumbs up and look forward to our next episode.
I think it's going to sound okay. It certainly sounds okay to me. So nicely done. So everybody, thanks again for joining us today. By the way, we should mention there's paddles for sale on our website, pickleballtoday.co. They are shipped from the manufacturer to you, and you get some pretty nice discounts. There's a especially nice discount and deal from 6-0 Pickleball. And with them, the nice thing about 6-0 now is they are shipping from Canada. If you're Canadian, you're going to get shipped from Canada. If you're American, you're going to get shipped from the United States. If you're elsewhere, you'll get shipped from the United States. Whatever your browser says, like your IP address, it'll pick that up when you go to the website and ship from the right location. So it means you're not going to be paying, first of all, shipping is free from them, and you're not going to be paying duty and tariffs and stuff like that. Like for here, we are in Canada, tariffs stuff coming in from the United States. What 6-0 is smart enough to do is they're shipping theirs in from their Asian location where they're manufactured to Canada, so they're not getting hit with U.S. tariffs. Then they're sell, and they're coming right to you. So all you're going to pay is tax, and that's it, basically. Shipping. Yeah, I think shipping is free over $100 with them. So that's to go to their site. That's 60pickleball.ca, and that'll plug in our discount code automatically for you. Or if you just go to the regular 60 site, use Pickleball Today as your discount code, and you're going to get a nice discount and that. But with the discount in Canada, quite frankly, now their products are less expensive from us than they are at retail stores, which is kind of a cool deal.
Yeah, that says something. Yeah. So all the discount codes for all the different the brands that Patrick's an ambassador for are all listed on the show notes. So take a look, and hopefully, if you're in the market for some new equipment, paddles or otherwise, try those discount codes. Yeah,
thanks. And the little bit of compensation we get from that does go to help pay for my wife's long-term care. So it's not quite a charity for you, but it certainly helps, and that's part of our motivation for doing this as well, because it's not cheap. Anyway, John, thank you again. It was fun. We had a great time playing today. And we'll see you again. Well, we're going to see you again soon when we're playing again, but we'll have another episode up in a couple of weeks as well. So thanks to everybody for listening. Give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, give us a whatever, subscribe, or wherever you're listening, whatever you can do there, and subscribe to the podcast on whatever podcast player you want, and then you can listen in the car or wherever you are. So we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Look forward to it, and I hope you win a paddle.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Have a great evening.
Bye, John. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.